If you told me 5 years ago that I'd be sitting here, retelling this story to strangers on the internet, I would have laughed. Back then, love was just a word people tossed around like confetti. Pretty, temporary, and always left someone cleaning up the mess afterward. I had seen too many relationships fall apart, watched too many people promise forever only to disappear when things got real. So I built myself a simple life, predictable, controlled, safe. And then she walked into it, like a storm disguised as sunlight. Her name was Maya. I first saw her in the most unexpected place, the lobby of a hospital. Not very romantic, I know, but life doesn't always introduce love with perfect lighting and soft background music. Sometimes it shows up when everything around you smells like antiseptic and the vending machine is out of the only snack you wanted. My father had been admitted that day, nothing serious, just a precaution after a dizzy spell. I was pacing the lobby, half panicked, half annoyed at myself for panicking, when a woman sat down a few chairs away from me. She didn't just sit. She collapsed into the chair like she'd been holding the world on her shoulders for too long. Her hair was messy, her jacket was too big, and she looked like she'd cried sometime in the last hour. But there was something about her posture, something tired yet strong, like a fighter between rounds. We exchanged one of those awkward half-smile strangers give each other when they're too emotionally drained to pretend they're okay. I didn't mean to talk to her. I wasn't in the mood. But she noticed the cup of untouched coffee beside me and said, "You know, staring at it won't make it taste better." I raised an eyebrow. "You haven't tried this vending machine. It might actually explode." She laughed, not loudly but genuinely, and the tension in my chest lightened a little. We talked, not about anything important. First about the coffee, then about the terrible music playing in the lobby, then about how neither of us planned to spend our evening there. She told me her younger brother had broken his wrist doing something stupid with a skateboard. I told her about my dad. We joked. We complained. We waited. And for the first time in months, I didn't feel alone. When the nurses finally came out to update us, she stood up and smiled softly. "Good luck," she said. "You too." And she walked away. I figured that was it. A fleeting moment with a stranger I'd forget in a week. Turns out, fate had other plans. 2 weeks later, I saw her again, this time at a late-night grocery store. I was staring at a shelf of cereal, trying to figure out why grown adults need 30 different options, when I heard a familiar voice behind me. "Don't tell me you're still judging food as hard as you judged the hospital coffee." I spun around. It was her. Same warm eyes, same tired energy. But this time her hair wasn't a mess and she wasn't crying. She was smiling at me like the universe had played a practical joke on us. "I swear I'm not stalking you," I said. "I didn't say that," she replied, grinning. We talked again, longer this time. We walked through the aisles together, making dumb commentary about overpriced fruit and arguing about whether cereal counts as dinner. I don't know how long we wandered. 20 minutes. An hour. I just remember laughing more than I had in months. Before we parted, I did something rare for me. I took a risk. "Can I see you again?" I asked. She looked surprised, then shy, then hopeful. "Yeah," she said. "You can." That's how it started. Our first date wasn't glamorous. We got cheap tacos from a food truck and ate them on a park bench under flickering streetlights. She told me stories that made me laugh until my chest hurt. I told her things I'd never said out loud. I liked her instantly. Not the dramatic movie kind of like, but the kind that sneaks up on you quietly and makes you want to rearrange your life just to keep seeing someone. We grew close fast. Fast enough that it scared me. Maya was bright in a way that wasn't loud. She noticed everything, remembered everything. She asked questions that made me think, and she listened like every word was a clue to something important. She had this way of making ordinary days feel like they mattered. But she also had walls. Not the kind you see right away, the quiet kind, built slowly over years of hurt. She told me, piece by piece, about her family, her past relationships, the weight she carried from trying to fix everyone else's problems. She didn't let people stay. Not for long. And I'd never stayed for anyone. We were two people who didn't trust love, learning how to trust each other. For months, Everything felt right, easy, natural, until it didn't. Our first real argument wasn't about anything dramatic. It was about me being late to dinner again, about her feeling like she wasn't a priority, about me insisting she was overreacting. Neither of us said what we really meant. Neither of us admitted what we were actually afraid of. She wanted reassurance. I wanted escape. And that night, when she said, "I don't know if you're here because you care about me or because you're scared of being alone," I didn't know how to answer. So I didn't. She walked away in tears, and this time I didn't chase her. I told myself I needed space, that I didn't owe her explanations, that she'd come back when she was ready. She didn't. Days passed. A week. Then two. Her silence was louder than any fight we'd had. I tried to distract myself. Work, friends, anything. But every quiet moment felt like a reminder of the place she used to occupy in my life. Then one night, after too many hours of pretending I was fine, I grabbed my keys and drove to her apartment. No plan, no speech, just desperation. When she opened the door, she looked shocked to see me, but not angry, just tired. "What are you doing here?" she asked. I should have been honest right away, but old habits die hard. I wanted to say something confident, something detached. But instead, what came out was, "I miss you." Her eyes softened, but only a little. "You can't disappear whenever things get scary," she whispered. "I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm just asking you to stay." Those words hit me harder than any argument we ever had. Because she wasn't wrong. My whole life I'd been running. Leaving before I could be left. Shutting down before anyone could get close enough to hurt me. Love had always felt like a risk I wasn't willing to take. But losing her, that was a risk I suddenly couldn't live with. So I told her everything. My fears, my flaws, my mistakes. The truth behind every wall I'd ever built. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't poetic. But it was real. And she listened. Quietly, carefully. Then she stepped closer and said, "If we're going to do this, you don't get to run. Not from me. Not from us." And for the first time in my life, I said the thing I'd never said to anyone. "I'm tired of running." That was the night everything changed. We didn't magically fix our problems. We didn't suddenly become the perfect couple. But we started choosing each other intentionally. We learned how to communicate, how to argue honestly, how to stay even when it was uncomfortable. She taught me that love isn't about grand gestures. It's about showing up on ordinary days, choosing someone even when it's inconvenient. And I taught her that not everyone leaves, that some people learn to stay. Today, as I'm recording this story, Maya is curled up on the couch beside me, reading a book and stealing my blanket even though she has her own. We've been together 3 years. We still fight sometimes. We still misunderstand each other. But every night, before we fall asleep, she reaches for my hand. And every night, I hold it like a promise. Because she's the woman who taught me that love isn't something you fall into. It's something you stay for. And that's a lesson I'll never forget.